What's up, guys? It is Wednesday, January 22nd, and we had a winning session yesterday and a lot of interesting hand history. So it's going to be a long hand history review session. I hope you don't mind. It's a little cold outside, and we don't probably going to start changing our background and environment for this part. And I think I got some ideas on how to do things better. So stick around, and I promise you that things will get better as we proceed throughout the vlogs, throughout the years. So first hand, we'll set it up. Under the gun, we'll call him a calling station. He has $575. Then MP2, we'll call him Agrofish. He has $500. This is the player that we've been going after. We identified we're going after. I am in the button with around $950, and the action is the calling station limps. The Agrofish goes 40. I look down, and I have Ace of Clubs and King of Diamonds. So I wanted to isolate the Agrofish, so I made it a larger 3-bet, knowing that he would probably call. He's not folding. There's a good chance he'll probably jam on me. So I made it to 180. And to my surprise, calling station calls 180. Well, then it goes to Agrofish, who goes all in for $500. And of course, we call. And then calling station tanks for about a minute and calls. All in for everybody, $1,650. Flop, the board runs Ace of Spade, 10 of Club, 8 of Diamonds, 5 of Spade, and the Queen of Diamonds. We flip over Ace King, Agrofish mucks, calling station flips over Ace of Diamond, Queen of Hearts, racks in the stack. So we had built up our stack, and we lost most of our profit from that hand. Few hands later, we were built up our stack again, and we were under the gun. And then let's set up the hand. We were under the gun. We have around 1445. Then we have in the small blind, we have a player we'll call Tilter, because he tilts a lot, loves to tilt. And then in the button is the Agrofish, same player, and he has around 250. And Tilter guy has 880. So I'm the first person. Of course, if I raise here, I guess it's a standard play. But I think the Agrofish is, with the stack size, is about to just go nuts. So I limp. And then we have 2 other limpers. And then comes the Agrofish, and he limps. Nah. So small blinds completes the action, and big blind checks. Flop comes 5 of Spade, 7 of Hearts, and 8 of Diamonds. At this point, the pot is $30. So I lead out and bet $25. I'm sorry. Small blind leads out and bet $25. So this is a really kind of a wet board, and I just call to find out, reevaluate where I'm at. Everybody folds, goes to Agrofish, and he goes all in for $245. Then Tilter, thinks for a little bit and calls $245. Well, at this point, I'm not worried about Agrofish. Tilter to bet out and to have a call, and then to have a all in and then to call looks weak. It has probably a pair plus a draw at most. No 2 pair. The 2 pair would have raised, and so we beat all non-2 pair. So I raised for 560, and small blind folds, and so the pot is now 765, and the turn comes 6 of diamond, and the river comes 8 of club. And Agrofish shows over 9 of diamonds, 10 of hearts for an open-ended straight draw that hit there on the turn. So he gets a triple up. So that hand, the reason I tell you these two hands is because it sets up for this hand. So we started to pick out Agrofish's pattern, right? He overvalues hands. So the 9-10 hand, I guess he's drawing that really doesn't tell much because of his stack size. That with that board he's just jamming, but it seems like he's very aggro and he likes to bluff and that kind of play. So the hand of the play of the day. So we have the calling station, who's under the gun +1 with $2,000 now from winning that big pot. And then we have the Agrofish, who has then built up his stack to 1,200, and I am in and he's in the hijack. I am the small blind with now $560 after losing a few of those hands. So calling station limps, Agrofish limps. I raised to $40. Calling station and Agrofish calls. Pot is now 125. Flop comes 2 of diamond, 4 of diamond, and 3 of clubs. This is a hand that hits a lot of more of Agrofish's calling range, and some of as well as some of the calling station's calling range. But calling station likes to call more with big cards, and Agrofish will raise with big cards. So this is kind of not the board that is good for us. But I do. I have the ace of club. I could have a runner, flush draw, and overcard. So I see bet to $100, and calling station folds, and Agrofish calls. The turn comes 4 of hearts. I think it's a good card because I think it had Agrofish had top pair. He would have probably re-raised me. That's his pattern and tendencies. So I don't put him on a top pair. I put him on now a draw, maybe a pair plus draw, like 3-5, 2-5, 3-6, 2-6. Maybe a flush draw, club draws, but this is the guy that if he has a club draw, he's pushing me, he's jamming, he's raising here, give him the stack sizes. So I don't put him on a flush draw. So the river comes the queen of clubs, and now the pot is 515. Decision time, right? The club hit. We didn't put him on a flush draw, so we're not concerned with that. He could have a pair plus draw, but that's still a narrow part of his range compared to a wide part of his range where any 5, any 6, any ace. So the combination of those hands we beat. So I think the standard play here is to just unload the third barrel and get him off, because we do have the ace blocker, and if he turns over the flush, so be it. But I went for a more advanced play. I checked with the intention of calling, depending on his bet size. If he bets small it looks like a value bet, then I would probably fold, because he is probably value betting then maybe a queen, a 4. But he goes 250 into a $515 pot, and his bet size felt a little too big. So I thought for a little bit. I had the feeling that he had some kind of 5 or 6 misdraw. Probably not an ace. I think an ace he would might be even bluff. That's how aggressive he is. So I call, and he turns over king of hearts, 6 of diamonds. Totally whiffed. And we pick up a nice $1,000 pot with ace high. Felt good. And from there, we just kind of cruise along, and we end up winning a little bit over $1,300 for the day. We are now down around $2,600. That's only about 2 or 3 good sessions until we make a profit, and make a profit for this month, because we have not had a losing month at 2.5 ever, and this is not going to be our first month. Well, it's time to hit the gym, and it's going to be should be a fun week and a profitable week. I feel it. See you at the gym. What's going on, guys? So we are back for the contemplation and meditation reflection time. So let's go back to and talk about what we mentioned yesterday about patterns and setting patterns and being able to use it to develop good habits, right? So let's go to the poker first. And if we could identify a player's patterns, and we start to see their tendencies and habits. And from there, we can use context clues, informations about how they play and the board and all these other stuff, to be able to draw a logical conclusion on what to do next. And so if we could start recognizing patterns inside ourselves, then we could start to develop strategies on how to play, and based on our tendencies and habits, and as well as the tendencies and habits of the other players. We could just strategize whether we want to play exploitative or balance against this player. We could define ranges, and we could know whether we should when we should continuation bet and when we should check, because we will know this player's tendency. For example, if a player likes to re-raise on a paired board, and if you have a made hand, then of course your tendency, if his tendency is to make a play at this, then you want to be more deceptive and probably check the flop so that he doesn't blow you off your hands as a bluff most of the time. So there are players that do this. And if we could pick up their tendencies, then we could we could actually think of how to play. So, but let's take it to practical life, right? If once we start developing patterns, we could actually start to form good habits. It all sounds good, right? But let's talk practicality. What can we really do in our daily lives to get better? Well, let's start. If you want to be aware of your actions and you want to be more in tune, then first of all, we need to slow down. Slow down the things we're doing, right? So what we want to do is pick at the things that we do every day that's simple and easy to do. So if you really want to start developing good patterns, I suggest that you do it when you're eating, sitting, and walking. When you're eating, just focus on eating. Don't do anything else but eat, and just eat slowly and enjoy your food. And it doesn't mean that, of course, it's hard to do this because we're so multitask oriented that we cannot just eat to eat. We always have to be watching TV or be holding our phone or do something else. So take the time, find some time to just eat. And then when you're walking, slow down. And just don't think about where you have to go or why you're late or you need to hurry. But just watch your steps and watch your pace and your walk. And then when you're sitting, watch the way you're sitting. If you're sitting slouching, sit up and correct your form. And just be attentive on your thoughts and your actions while you're sitting. So these are 3 things that I practice every day, little by little. At the poker table, I try to just do minimal things. Of course, sometimes I read at the poker table, but that's not because I'm bored, but that's because I do it with an intention. So those are the things that I recommend that we start with, because everything is practical and systematic. And if you put into practice a little by little every day, you don't have to go all out and put yourself on a goal, because we don't want to set goals, because once we achieve it, then we drop off and we go right back to where we were. What we want to do is develop patterns that forms into habits that becomes a form of lifestyle, and then we live this new way of life. Not we get there and then we drop off, and get there and drop off constantly. And that's what happens with people with diets and some kind of New Year's resolution. It's they always some get to the goal and some drop off. Most of them just don't have the motivation and discipline to keep going. And that's where you could just iterate a little bit at a time. Enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy this practice. It shouldn't be tough. It shouldn't be non-enjoyable. You should actually, when you do these practice of slowing down and being attentive to what you're doing, you actually feel more relaxed and peaceful, because your mind is in a state that it should be, observing and not being pulled into the past with thoughts and pulled into the future with expectations. Well, that's it for today. Let's make it 2 in a row, and then we'll go from there. See ya.